Skull, baby. How's that skull, baby?
You got a number of new guys at your position this year. How's that going with those guys?
It's fun, man. Just we got the right guys in, and the guys that were here before has just been growing exponentially, and it's fun. Spring ball is a time of a lot of growth and a lot of strain. I talked to them about the glory being in the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Winnebago, that's where they were at. They had to get the glory in the fire, so there's no way to it but through it. And the new guys are doing great, all of them. Whether it's Rondell, PJ, Trace, and we got Taylor Wan coming in the summer, and he's itching to get here, and so it's good. The group is gelling. They're finding their identity.
You got a lot of attention on PJ coming in. Just how is he adapting to the college game?
Yeah, it's great. He's who he's been, and he's a special dude. He's a special talent, and he's longer than Monday afternoon, man. But he's a special human being, and his mom, Miss Cerillion, and his dad, Mr. Adney, did a really good job raising him. And his brother Tommy is going to have great success. He went to Northwestern and blew up the Senior Bowl and the combine, and ran a 4.49 at 282. I ran a 4.49 30-yard dash, and but so it's just, he comes from the same stock, so he's doing great.
You mentioned Trace. How has he done? I know he's a little bit limited here in the spring, but just as far as acclimating and just how unusual is that?
Yeah, I mean.
And what was your feelings about him when you saw him at OSU?
Yeah, I was praying to Jesus that we could get him once he entered the portal. And, for me, I appreciate the rivalry, and I appreciate the bad blood. I kind of like it. I really like it. We had that with Clemson and South Carolina and all the special rivalries around college football. But I think for Trace, it was making a decision that was best for him. He's an Oklahoma kid. He loves Oklahoma. He loves fishing. He loves his family. He's got a big family. And he wanted to be close to them. And, sometimes you just need a fresh start. And so, in-state local kid out of Santa Fe High School, dreamed of playing for the Sooners, and he finally got a shot. And I'm really glad I'm the edge coach. And so he's doing awesome, learning a lot, really, really eager. And it's been fun seeing the group, the dynamic of the group now compared to last year. And just with the guys that are still here, their development, their maturity, their buy-in, and the new guys coming in, we did a lot of hard work trying to lay a foundation for who this program is going to be under Coach Venables. And who are we going to be as trying to build the uncommon man? Who's Team 129 going to be? And so it's been fun. There's a lot of guys that were here before, but in some ways, it's a new team. Team 129, it's a new team, and you can feel that.
You've got two starters back, a couple of experienced guys, a couple of passionate guys, a couple of really intelligent guys. How do you get more out of them in 2020?
You get more out of them by, just staying faithful. You beat the drum with the same message you had before. If the message was bad, you got to change the message. And we know what it looks like. And we know what elite defense, defensive scheme, defensive toughness, defensive effort, defensive efficiency, we know what it looks like. And you got to, and our strength staff, man, Schmitty's the best. I'm just telling you. I'll look like Arnold Schwarzenegger if I spend time with him. I don't. I don't. I ain't got time to. But if I did, I would look great. And they've just, whether it's our elite recovery staff and Schmitty, and it's just another year in the program. The guys learning the new defense and offense on both sides of the ball. There's just growing pains in this transition. And, I think consistency as a coach, showing up every day. The world isn't burning. The sky isn't falling. And just be faithful and stay true to the process. TTP, trust the process, man. Trust the process. And there's a method behind the madness. And so we can see that with my guys, and I was talking about my guys. They know it's fun seeing them you know, putting in a call or putting in the new call or the same verbiage is used, and we've been using the same verbiage now for 15 months. You know, well, it's not the first month, it's not the 8th month, and that's why I saw our guys progress throughout the season. You know, just watch the tape. They got better and better and better and played their butts off in Florida State, and hats off to Florida State for a great win. Every week, the last half of the season, it just got better. You're learning verbiage. Oh, that's what he means by that. You might say, man, like, I told you one time. You got to tell him 1,000 times. And so I think just the conditioning of the scheme, the verbiage, the culture, and then just trusting the process.
Not that those guys are not motivated, but is the competition around them motivating them?
Well, yeah, this is what I'll say, but if there's a guy on this team right now, he's really motivated. All right, you go 6-7 at Oklahoma, I don't know what else needs to motivate you. Number one, you're motivated because you love the freaking game. You know, if we've recruited guys that ain't motivated, we missed. Period. You know, I don't care if you're 6-7 or 15-0, man. I've been a part of both of those teams. It's really hard. This game is really hard, and what we ask them to do is really hard. So, man, if we got to deal with motivation, we got problems. You know, now I think inspiration is another thing. I think it's a coach's job to inspire your guys and get him to play inspired ball. You know, but our guys are inspired, our guys are motivated, and I think competition always creates. It's good, man. Iron on iron. You know, iron sharpens one another, and there's gonna be sparks flying, but it's all good. You know, and you know, look at the best teams across the country. You ain't going to one of those teams without competing. You know, and at the end of the day, I want to have a very, very competitive room. You know, and I tell my guys all the time, I say, man, you decide if you play or not. I don't decide the depth chart. You guys decide it. And so there's great awareness, but the motivation and inspiration is really good. Great question.
One of the guys that got here and climbed the depth chart really quick, to your point there, is our Mason Thomas. And Schmitty's put quite a bit of weight on him the last couple months. So how excited are you for what he's
Yeah, he says that he was 215 when he got here. I was like, dude, no, you aren't. You are a liar. All right. But just an unbelievable person. You know, his mom is Gerald down there in Pompano, Florida, has raised him really, really well, came from a great program. And he's busted his butt, you know, and he's twitching now. You know, he's special. And but just, you know, just more maturation, man. Maturation in my technique, maturation in the weight room, strength conditioning. You know, he's almost 240 pounds. And it's good weight. You know, he always has to eat something in my meeting room. So literally, like, where's your peanut butter and sandwich at? And defensive ends, edge players, and Coach V's defense, they do a lot. You know, you got to do it all. There's one young man that was asking me about, you know, recruiting, and he was like, well, what end am I going to play? I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, am I the strong side end? Am I the jack end? I was like, listen here, dude. If I'm recruiting you, you got to do it all. Okay, so I don't know what somebody else is telling you, but you got to drop, you got to blitz, you got to freaking rip, you got to go to the long stick, you got to set the edge, you got to do it all. All right, welcome to Brent Venables' defense. Okay, if you don't like it, go down over there where they tell you you're going to be this guy. You know, but my pitch is like, listen, man, like, that's why the NFL has historically loved guys, defensive linemen in Brent Venables' defense. All right, because these scouts, they're watching guys, and they're either going to put a check mark by your name, an X, or a question mark. All right, can he drop? Well, I don't know. He ain't never done it. All right, well, can he stop the run? I don't know. He just always drops. And I think the great thing about us and all the first rounders and defensive linemen we've have drafted under Coach V, regardless of whatever school he's been at, has been that there's not a lot of question marks for defensive linemen, specifically the edge players. The scout goes, they hand the paper to the GM, and they go, he can do it all, coach. You know, and so I think that's very attractive, and I think that's why we've had success getting some of the best players on campus and recruiting them.
You talk about inspiration and competition, all those things with those returning guys, but at the same time, how much of a challenge is it to handle things just mentally and emotionally when you're, you know, bringing in, you know, several guys from the transfer?
Well, listen, you know, we want to build our team out of the high school draft, if you will. But that's the real world, buddy. You kidding me? You know, like, you want to go to the NFL. These guys that we're recruiting, they want to go to the NFL. Well, good luck. You know, when I played in the league, you know, I was there for having coffee with one guy, sitting in a seat, and literally after practice, he ain't there no more. And then I was one of those guys. I was having coffee, And went to church on the Sunday, and I got a call from a Kansas City number I ain't never heard before. I was like, that's it. And Miguel, coach wants to see you. I was in Clemson, South Carolina by midnight, hugging my wife. You talk about a whirlwind, that's life, man. You know, so you can't really control that. I mean, that's why we talk to our guys all the time about being your best. I can't control if I'm better than you, if you're better than me. I can't control that. So why waste time worrying about that? You know, be your best. Maximize your gifts that God has given you. And let the rest take care of it. All the guys that are looking around and they're freaking, I'm looking about him and what's he doing good or he's doing good, man, you're distracted. You're like a dog chasing cars. I can't control those things, man. Control the input. So that's the message I give to my guys. I tell them competition's good. I tell them we want to win a championship. This is Oklahoma. I'm never going to apologize for bringing great players in. I'm never going to apologize for trying to assemble the best defensive end group in the entire country, and then coaching those guys that way.
Year one as a head or as a position coach, what did you?
Please, God, no. Jesus, no.
What did you learn about yourself through year one, and how do you want to improve for year two yourself?
I think you don't know what you don't know. You know, no matter how confident you are, or no matter how prepared you think you are, I think the game of football is a great metaphor for life. There's ignorance is bliss, and also very painful. And so I think I thought that it would be really fun. It's even more fun than I thought, which is crazy. I feel like I'm cheating life every day. You know, I love recruiting. I love coaching my guys. I love seeing them be successful. And I love building this thing with Coach Venables. You know, nothing's ever easy. Like I said, you know, when we went 15-0 at Clemson, man, and beat Alabama 44-16 in the national championship, that was really hard. Looked easy, it was really hard. The whole season was hard. Last year, 6-7, it didn't meet our standard, didn't meet our expectations, and losing the bowl game, and it's like, man, that's hard, you know. And so I think that whether you win, it's hard, whether you lose, it's hard, so it's better to win. And the fun is in the winning.